Hi, welcome to Playing the Field with Alex Giaimo, a podcast about sports, collectibles, memorabilia, all things in between. I'm your host, Alex Giaimo. Guys, today is my first ever episode of my first podcast. About 10 years overdue, by the way, but I finally got my butt in gear. And I figured, hey, what better way to kick off Playing the Field with Alex Giaimo than where it all started. My career started right here at MLB Network. Okay, baseball season is here, spring training has started, and I figured we got to talk to the man, a good friend of mine, probably a guy that knows more about baseball than anyone I know, my dear friend, host of MLB Tonight, Greg Amsinger.
Alex, this is an honor that I'm the first guest on your podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
The fact that you're back in Studio 3, you were a logger here years and years ago.
2012, out of Syracuse.
Amazing.
Logged baseball games till 3 a.m. It was miserable.
But look where you are today. And now we are co-hosts on the show Carded.
You guys check out MLB's Carded.
Yes.
It's all about baseball cards. Greg is a host. I'm a correspondent. He's way more important.
I call you
than me.
Co-host all the time. Don't say correspondent. I like co-host.
Greg, me and you have gotten to know each other, over the last couple of years pretty well. Talk to me about your new pregame show coming up. What is that about?
Well, you know what? We started last year and I loved it. The National Pregame Show, and where baseball's going, baseball media, listen to Commissioner Manfred talk about it. We're going to centralize all of these regional games. And Major League Baseball Network, MLB Network, is probably going to be the centerpiece of this new vision. Mm-hmm. And to have so many of the club's games being aired in one MLB package, I was like, you know what, guys? When I watch Fox NFL Sunday and I watch NFL Today on CBS, the resources are pumped into those pregame shows.
Yeah.
And once the early game ends, everyone's getting out to the West Coast games. So I was like, let's plant our flag in the ground on the pregame show.
So is it going to be like standing up style, like what they do with Gronkowski? And
No. We're in Studio 42. We have an anchor desk in the infield of Studio 42, which I think is the greatest television studio in America. There's nothing like it.
It's so dope. It's so dope.
Gorgeous.
If you haven't seen it, you guys, you need. It's made after Jackie Robinson, right?
It's named after him. It's basically our replica baseball stadium, and it is just breathtaking. And the images behind us and the lighting.
But you gotta throw some balls.
Oh, we do that. Harold does. We got a net. He'll hit off a tee, and Dan will show pitching mechanics on the mound, which is right from the desk. It just enables us to talk about every aspect of every game. And even though the games haven't started yet, the reason MLB Tonight was such an award-winning show is that we're always giving you live baseball. We're going inside the park. Well, we have ballpark cameras in every ballpark, so we're still taking you inside the park. Awesome. You're seeing images of Aaron Judge taking BP. You're seeing Shohei Ohtani long toss while we're on camera on the side of the screen setting up that night's game. So it is the best pregame show. I'm very proud of it. And I really invite people to watch the National Pregame Show on MLB Network this year. Starting at 5 p.m. Eastern, you're going to love it.
All right. Good luck. I'm looking forward to that. All right, guys. So the main reason we're here is to have Greg bless us with his baseball knowledge and expertise. But we're also here because baseball product, the flagship of Topps Series 1 2026 is out. And it is dope. I don't know if you've seen some of the cards out there, but
I've seen some of the images online, and yeah, I can't wait to get my hands on it.
So guys, we're gonna get to that soon. Greg is gonna give you some tips and tricks, but this is not, he's giving his advice, okay? It doesn't necessarily mean you should invest, but we're gonna start out with some of the rookies. Actually, no, I wanna start out with just baseball.
Okay.
And your predictions.
All right.
Let's start with the World Series.
World Series?
There?
So I'm going to say this. I think the Los Angeles Dodgers are going to do the opposite approach of last year. They're going to have their starters actually throw over 150 innings. They're not going to rely on their bullpen because so many teams in their own division got better. So you can't play with fire like that and have the most innings come out of your bullpen. I believe the Los Angeles Dodgers will have the greatest regular season ever.
Oh.
Greatest regular season we've ever seen.
Oh, I'm so
and the best
sick of
regular season team I've not ever seen, but I did a list on this. I'm going to actually do it on Friday. 1961 Yankees, the best season baseball team. I'm not talking postseason because postseason's changed. So 61 Yankees, are they going to be better than them? Now you had Roger Maris at 61, you had Mickey Mantle at 54, you had Whitey Ford win 25 games, you had Luis Arroyo was the best reliever in baseball that year. The Dodgers have it all now. Edwin Diaz, the best reliever. He's their closer. They've got Kyle Tucker with $60 million a year playing right field. You got Shohei Ohtani who's going to throw 170 innings this year, maybe 180 innings this year.
I was going to ask you think so?
Yes. He is hell-bent, Alex, on winning a Cy Young. He finished fourth 4 years ago. That was the year that Judge won the MVP. Since then, he's won 3 straight MVPs. That's the only thing on the mantle he's missing is a Cy Young. He's going to win a Cy Young.
So they're going to let him fly.
They're going to let him fly. But I think it's going to come back to bite him. And the team that I have going to the World Series is the Atlanta Braves, which I think they have a mammoth bounce back year under Walt Weiss as their manager. I think Spencer Strider finds it again. Chris Sale, mid-30s, but he's a future Hall of Famer. He's going to be in walk year. Ronaldo Lopez is back.
Acuna's due for a good
Acuna's going to come back. He told me in Vegas at the MLB Awards, I go, bro, are you going to be back to the 70 stolen base guy? He goes, you know me.
Let's do it.
So I can't wait to see that. So I think the Atlanta Braves are going to go to the World Series, and they're going to play the Seattle Mariners.
Interesting.
Braves
Wait,
win the World Series.
before we get to the American League, are you taking Ohtani MVP or the field?
I'm taking Ohtani.
Okay.
If he pitches at a high level, there's no one else you can't make an argument against him unless somebody does something historic. If you go back to Aaron Judge snatching it away from Shohei Ohtani when he won 15 games, sub-3 ERA, K per 9 over 10, and he hit almost 40 home runs, it was because he had a single season American League home run record.
If Dave Roberts lets Shohei fly on the mound, it's possible he wins a Cy Young and an MVP?
That's
Has that ever been done?
Never.
Never?
Well, Cy Young and MVP, yeah. So we've seen like Clayton Kershaw won Cy Young MVP. But when we think of MVP with Shohei, it's because of his offensive prowess, right? But we've had pitchers. Willie Hernandez back in 1984 was a closer, over 40 saves. He was a Cy Young MVP. Verlander has been a Cy Young
But he would
MVP.
probably win MVP as a hitter.
That's the argument, right?
Yeah.
If he could actually have, I guess the best way to put it is this. And people forget that we have the Hank Aaron Award, which goes to the best offensive player in each league. To have Shohei Ohtani win the Hank Aaron Award and the Cy Young would never be done again.
Do you think Ohtani is already better than Ruth and everyone else? So
He's the greatest player of all
there's
time.
nothing more he has to do. He's already proved himself.
Well, listen, the OG is like who wore the dress better? Babe Ruth was the first to wear it, and Ohtani's wearing it better, right? Like, Babe Ruth was the first pitcher that could hit. Now, what Babe Ruth did was incredible. 1920, he had 54 home runs. He out-homered all the American League teams that year by himself.
Insane.
That's unbelievable, right? And it's mad respect, but it wasn't a segregated sport. It was a completely segregated sport. You have to take that into account. What Shohei Ohtani is doing, to focus on pitching, which when he's doing it at a full time, when he puts a full season together, it's not just ace good, Alex. It's Hall of Fame good as a pitcher, right? What he's doing offensively in the modern era, facing Shohei Ohtani's, facing max velo, max spin. So, there are games he has 4 at-bats against 4 different pitchers.
And
Babe Ruth never did that.
Right, and under pressure in the World Series, in the playoffs.
My friends and I, when I was a little boy, I'd always play this game. Greatest individual game ever played. And we would come up with 15 to 20 games, right?
He just had it.
That conversation's over.
Yep, he just had it.
Postseason against the Brewers, 3 homers, 6 innings, 3 hits, 10 Ks, no runs. He just gave us the answer. You can't argue. That's the greatest game ever played. And it was in the playoffs against a team that almost won 100 games.
I immediately went on eBay and bought 3 or 4 of his cards. They've all gone up 10x.
Oh,
and I'm priced out. I'm totally screwed. If you haven't invested in Ohtani already, don't bother because you're screwed. Unless you're a millionaire, which a lot of these billionaires out there too. You saw that Pokemon card just sell for 16
crazy.
Logan Paul, I can't stand him. I just can't stand him.
Well, he's got a passion for it. It's great that he has a passion for it, right?
Sold at Golden Auctions, good for Ken. I work for him. So it's a big sale. It's crazy. I can't believe.
The industry's booming right now.
It's insurmountable. All right, Greg, so you have the Atlanta Braves representing the National League in the World Series. Give me your American League prediction.
Well, the American League is going to go down to the Yankees and the Mariners. I don't think the Blue Jays are going to miss Bo Bichette. And Bo Bichette, what he did coming back and grinding through, that was a big deal. As much as I like their additions, I just think Dylan Cease, $210 million is going to be below expectations there. So I've got the Yankees and the ALCS against the Seattle Mariners, and I just think it's going to be a banner year in Seattle. I think Cal Raleigh doesn't hit 60, but he's going to hit 50, and I think he wins his MVP this year. I think Brian Wu, who won 15 games with a sub-3 ERA last year, is going to be the Cy Young. Okay. It's hard for Tarek Skubal to carry this kind of a load and a walk year, the pressure behind that, to win his 3rd straight Cy Young. Oof. So I know Garrett Crochet, everyone wants to go to him next. I'm going to go to the guy who's got the smoothest mechanics out of all of them, and I think Brian Wu is the Cy Young, and I think we're going to see Wilson as Manager of the Year. I think it's going to be a banner season in Seattle.
I am floored by that. You don't think Judge is...
I love Judge.
But you don't think he's the top candidate to win MVP?
It's impossible unless he exceeds what he does last year. It's taking Aaron Judge to win these MVPs, some of the greatest offensive seasons of all time, right? I still disagree that he should have won last year.
I mean, yeah.
Cal Raleigh will never see a catcher at 60 homers again, Alex. Yeah. And just like when Aaron set the single season American League home run record, that history took a MVP away from a two-way player, won 15 games and finished fourth in the Cy Young, and he also hit over 30 home runs. The history of Cal Raleigh breaking mantle switch hitter single season home run record and Sal Perez's single season catcher home run record. I don't know why the history wasn't represented there. So I love Aaron Judge, and I know he's probably pissed at me because I've said this over and over again that Cal Raleigh should win the MVP. I love Aaron Judge. He's one of the faces of the game. Yeah. I mean, right now, Alex, you know how great baseball is? When I grew up, the NBA was baller because it had Bird and Magic. And then Michael came. Then it was Jordan after that. But Bird and Magic, that was the rivalry, right? We have Judge and Ohtani. Yeah, these are the two iconic players of our sport. And as I look around, I don't know if any other sport has the two clear-cut MVP pillars like we have right now.
Does Judge need to win, though? Does he need a ring? He just came out, I think, last week and said that this offseason was frustrating. I think he said brutal, and I quote, Brian Cashman is just bringing it back. He like pretty much every player is coming back. Are you okay with that?
I love that he cares that much. The fact that he's paying attention to all the shows, he watches MLB Network religiously, and he's noticing the Dodgers are signing this guy, and the Astros are signing this guy, and he's like, the Mets are signing the two former teammates to go in their bullpen. And he's like, what the hell's going on here? The fact that this is what I think is important to remember. When you invest in players like Aaron Judge over like $400 million, right? That's not just a player on your roster. That's a business partner. Mm-hmm. That person became a business partner.
He's so good at PR. He knows what he's doing.
He's like the modern Jeter. It's unbelievable to watch how good he is.
But does he need a ring to cement himself as one of the greatest of all?
Back in the day,
he's getting old.
Back in the day, that was like a prerequisite. You can't be the GOAT unless you win a ring. You win a ring. And in basketball, I think that's the case because you're one of five guys on the court. And if you're a superstar and you're the greatest of all time, your presence should mean that you're winning at least one championship. It's so hard to do in baseball. And, I mean, to watch Mike Trout, is Mike Trout not going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer? He already is a first ballot. Yeah. He never plays another game. And how many playoff games has he played? Hardly any. So
well, he chose to stay with the Angels. So I don't know if I feel that bad about it. What? He deserves it. He's from New Jersey.
I love loyalty, though. Yeah. And back in the day when I was growing up, I liked that Cal Ripken Jr. wore the same uniform his entire career, right? I liked that Tony Gwynn wore the same uniform his entire career. That stuff mattered to me. So if I'm an Angels fan, I love the fact that Mike Trout didn't want to go anywhere else. You know what I mean? I try to think of the fans of the teams those stars are on. Yeah. So I'm cool with it, but I don't think Judge needs a ring. Maybe to the Yankee. That Yankee world, I'm not in the Yankee world. I didn't grow up a Yankee fan. You're all spoiled. Big time. Are you a Yankee fan?
I am not a Yankee fan.
Sorry.
How dare you? All right, so Judge doesn't need a ring. So you're predicting Mariners and Braves
against the Braves.
All right, what was your prediction last year? Did it come true?
I had the Phillies going to the World Series.
Oof.
Yeah, that did not work out.
Did not work out.
But so Dodger fans are starting to hate on me because I keep going with a different National League team and not the Dodgers.
Well, we're sick of it. I mean, come on, I'm sick of it.
Really? Are you sick of it?
Oh, I'm sick of it.
Oh, no.
I don't like watching dynasties, unless they're my team, of course.
But you know why dynasties are good? Because you remember an entire decade.
Yeah.
The Yankees of the 90s, you just remember those teams. They're iconic.
Yeah.
Right? The Athletics of the 70s.
True.
They're iconic. So when you think of it that way, you're just remembering baseball at a higher level.
So this is a big one for collectors, especially with Topps Series 1, because it's a flagship product and it's the first time, we get to chase the rookies from the year prior.
Yeah.
This year, Rookie of the Year, what is your prediction?
Oh, man. I mean, my Rookie of the Year, who's debuting this year, I think will be the opening day shortstop for the Pittsburgh Pirates. I'm really not going out on a limb. Connor Griffin is exquisite talent. And to meet him in person, it's unbelievable that this young man, who can't buy a beer, is as mature as he is. I interviewed him, unbelievable. He's Bobby Witt Jr. and Mike Trout
Wow.
mixed. That's the talent this kid is. Now, if I was going to go with a guy that's going to push him, because the Cardinals moved Brendan Donovan, J.J. Weatherholt's going to be the starting second baseman opening day. And when you commit to rookies, you get that extra draft pick if they finish in the top 3 for Rookie of the Year. So it behooves clubs to do that. And I got J.J. Weatherholt as the second best rookie of this group. it's a talented rookie class. I really like it a lot.
Is Paul Skeens finally going to get that run support? And I wanted to ask you, if he did get that run support last year, how far could he have gone?
Paul Skeens is the most dominant pitcher I've ever seen in the MLB Network era. In my lifetime, in the early 80s, a young Dwight Gooden was the most dominant pitcher I'd ever seen in my lifetime. Okay, Roger Clemens was close, but we know he was getting some assistance to do that. I stand back. No, the year 2000, Pedro Martinez, that's the greatest pitching season of my life. A 1.74 ERA. I think he won 19 games, but the second best ERA that year was a 3.7. This was in the heart of the steroid era. Pedro Martinez dominated the field. The only season more dominant was the season I mentioned earlier, which was the Babe Ruth 1920 season, when he hit over 50 homers for the first time and he out-homered every American League team. The dominance of Pedro in 2000 was unbelievable. Is there a pitcher that could be close to what he did? Yes, Paul Skeens is so good. This is kind of in the weeds, but just follow me here. He doesn't face an opponent, Alex. He throws pitches to entertain himself. He doesn't care if you hit it, okay. He's so at another level. He throws like 8 pitches. He's working and he wants to throw a perfect splinker. He wants to throw a perfect two-seamer.
Wait, what's a splinker? I've never heard that.
Oh my gosh, it's his weird slider and like sinker. And it's like unhittable. He is so much better than everyone else. And that is no offense to Tarek Skubal and Garrett Crochet and the amazing pitchers that are in the sport. But I've been hosting the Giraffe for 17 years. So I watch amateur baseball and I watch prospects, and I was on the set. Paul Skeens was drafted #1. And he's the first pitcher I've ever seen that when he lets go of the ball, it looks like it feels good. It looks like he's like, ah.
And it just has that zzz that you just don't hear from other guys?
It looks like it feels good. Like watching Shakira dance is different than watching any of your friends dance, right?
My hips don't lie. I dance like a white girl, dude. It's so embarrassing. You've seen me dance.
Yeah, you got moves. You got
No,
moves.
it's quite embarrassing.
No.
It's actually awful. How many years does Skeens have left on his contract?
3. I think he's like 3 more years of club control.
So do you think they trade him, or do you think he gets one of the biggest free agent contracts like ever in history?
Well, it's a funny thing that you ask that, because here we are getting closer and closer to the next collective bargaining agreement, which is going to come to a head in December. So based on the current finances, if I'm running the Pittsburgh Pirates, I'm going, wait, let's just see what the climate is after there's a new CBA. Because if there's a new financial climate, then maybe the Pirates can afford to keep him. And that would be good for the game, because I think we want parity. We want the small market teams like the NBA. I mean, we got Oklahoma City playing the Indiana Pacers in the NBA Finals. We're not seeing the Tampa Bay Rays square off against the Cincinnati Reds in the World Series. So it's better for baseball if these smaller market teams can keep their stars. So fingers crossed that Paul Skeens can stay with the Pirates.
I mean, that's why the NFL to me is so likable, because there is so much parity. Like literally anyone. It's any given Sunday.
A dynasty was built in Kansas City, Missouri.
I know.
Right? A dynasty was built there. Why? Because they could afford to keep Mahomes and Kelsey and all their stars.
Rumors Kelsey's coming to New York, by the way. Did you hear that?
To play for the Giants?
I mean, Taylor Swift lives here most of the time. Yeah, he wants to play.
Interesting.
You know, they just got John Harbaugh.
I saw him play Pebble Beach. He's got a great golf swing. And if I were him, he's made enough money. He's about to marry into some money too. So might as well just work on the golf game.
That woman's getting a prenup. If she doesn't, I'm gonna say something to her. Okay, so we're finally gonna talk a little baseball, right? So Top Series 1 is the flagship product. First time we get to see rookies. Also, veterans are sprinkled in here and there. Topps actually, Greg, they put in a 1952 Mantle rookie card in there.
I love
It's a redemption, so you're not going to just pull a pack open and see the card, but it's a redemption. Potentially worth up to $350,000.
I love it. I love when they give you that little diamond in the rough. That's what you're thinking about when you're doing your pack rips. I mean, the chances of you getting it.
The odds are insurmountable, but you never know.
But that's my point. Yeah. So when you're going through a pack rip and you've got that in the back of your mind, when the Skeens sensation was going through and Livy Dunn's like, if you pull this card, I'll offer you this, and this. That just added. That was so fun.
Yep.
And I think something like this is a great idea by Topps.
Yeah, Topps is doing a good job with that. Another new thing they're doing is putting 2 World Series tickets in there. So I was going to ask you if I pull that card, which I won't because I pull jack shit. I've never pulled anything in my entire life, and you know I've ripped a lot of wax.
Yes, you have.
Come on, come on, hobby gods.
It's your
Give
thing.
me something. But you said Braves and Mariners. So let's see if it's true.
Who'd you take?
I'm not taking either team. I'm taking.
No.
I think it's Dodgers,
If you pull 2 World Series tickets,
who would I take?
Who are you taking to the game?
I mean, you know I'm single. That's why this is called Playing the Field with Alex Giaimo, Greg. Like, whether I like it or not.
That's the question everyone wants to know.
I'm very much single. So I am bringing my father. I grew up with a batting cage in my backyard.
That's
I owe it all to
awesome.
him.
What's his name?
Thomas Giaimo.
Oh,
But he goes
Thomas.
by DJ Tommy G. So shout out to you, Dad. All right, down to the nitty gritty, the most important part. Everyone wants to know. I want your opinions on the rookies that are in this product. So I'm going to name one, and I want first thing
Give it to me, yeah.
comes to mind for you. Obviously, the biggest heavy hitter in the pack is Roman Anthony.
Everyone loves Roman Anthony. I totally understand why. His plate approach is similar to a young Juan Soto. I did the top 100 players right now, and he was 41st. I think that is way too close to number 1 for a guy that didn't play a full season in the big leagues. He had 8 home runs. I know his on-base percentage is amazing, but he didn't even hit 290. I love Roman Anthony. I think the expectations we put on players are just so astronomically high. The fact that he's already got a contract, he feels good, he's a young dude.
He was injured last year.
Yeah, I don't think he's a premier defender. I think there are collectors that are going to go a little too aggressive on this.
Dude, his card, a paper product card in this flagship product, sold for $15,000. Paper product. So imagine the chrome, what that will go for. So yeah, do you think he can live up to the hype?
It reminds me of the vibe, being in the industry and collecting cards, of Jason Hayward. When Jason Hayward broke in, you couldn't get enough Jason Hayward product, right?
Really?
Oh my gosh, rookie cards, Jason Hayward. His first at bat in the big leagues, hit a home run. He was number 1 prospect. We couldn't get enough Jason Hayward. So I'm not saying that is what Roman Anthony is going to be. I'm just saying right now he's not the first one I'm pouncing on.
Right. Okay. Jack Caglione. Great Italian name, by the way. So I'm rooting for him.
This guy.
He's been okay. He showed greatness here and there. He has Bobby Witt on his team, so he has a supporting cast. He's in a small market.
Yeah.
What do you think?
So here's my issue. You draft a guy that's a two-way player. He's been a two-way player his entire life. He throws 100 miles an hour with a nasty breaking ball from the left side. And then you draft him and you go, we're going to take that away from you. Just focus on hitting. The issue I have with that is when you're a superstar doing one thing, which is both. That's all you know.
So two-way player, you mean switch hitter, right?
No. He was a hitter in college, in high school, and an ace. He was the John Olerud Award winner in college at Florida. Then you draft him in the first round, and then you take away pitching from him. Why? Yeah. I'm not saying he has to be Shohei Ohtani,
right.
But in an 8-1 game on a Friday night, game 1 of a weekend series in the Bronx, why waste your bullpen? Have Jack Caglione just go to the mound, give you 3 or 4 innings, saves your bullpen. The guy throws a hundo with a nasty breaking ball.
He does?
He's amazing. They took that away from him, and what does it do? Oh, he gets to think more about his next at bat. We're taking these superstar athletes that are used to being athletic, and we want them to think more. It doesn't make sense to me. So if he was a two-way player, I'd say buy the product. I'd pounce on Jack Caglione in a heartbeat. But because he's not, I'm going to pause a little bit.
Yeah, but it's never too late. You never know, right?
Well, he's in an organization for at least 6 more years.
Yeah.
And
They might change their mind.
If they're already bailing on, he'd have to get traded to get back to pitching.
Pitchers are not sexy in the hobby. I was at the game, the Yankee-Red Sox game, this previous postseason where Cam Schlittler mowed down the Boston Red Sox. Great name, by the way.
That's amazing.
I'm really happy I said it properly.
Yes, you did.
That could have been bad. What's the lowdown on him?
I like him. I do. The one issue my friend Dan Plesac has said about Cam Schlittler, who had an incredible October run, is just that everything's hard. Everything is extreme velocity. And when you think of pitchers in the past that even their sliders thrown in the mid-90s and everything's hard, the first thing that pops up is Noah Syndergaard. And if you remember when Noah Syndergaard broke into the big leagues, we all couldn't buy his product enough. He was the untouchable prospect that was traded over to the Mets in the R.A. Dickey trade. Like, oh my goodness, I can't believe the Blue Jays are parting ways with Noah Syndergaard. Big, tall right-hander, throws a billion. Cam Schlittler's going to have to learn how to change speeds a little bit before I think this is a future ace.
Okay, I like that. Piggybacking on that, Jacob Mizorowski.
Oh.
I was with you at the All-Star game this year, spoke to him. Huge hobbyist. Like, he collects his own cards, has his own PC. Also such a good guy. This is a guy that throws over 100, like, all the time, right? weren't all the players like on the top steps of the dugout during the All-Star game for him? Like, you don't see that for a rookie.
And the reason why is, I would use a different word than guy. It's a kid. He looks like a kid.
He's a child.
Like if he had a tray and he wasn't wearing a baseball uniform and he was in line at a high school cafeteria and he just walking through, you'd be like, that guy looks way too old. You might say, that guy, how tall is that guy? You might ask how tall that kid is, but he looks like a kid. He looks like a boy. And when he throws 104 and he pumps his fist, it's like a high school kid struck out the kid on JV. He's got such a baby face. So they say power comes with age, and when you talk scouting, like Buck Showalter, who's looked at and evaluated players for years, he'll look at a player and go, he's got a nice face. Yeah. What does that mean? That means he doesn't have a beard at the age of 16. That means he's like got a baby face, can't grow a mustache, he's 20. That means the real man muscles haven't developed yet.
Wow.
It's scary to think how great he is. I'll say this one thing, why you should buy Jacob Misiorowski product. Dan Plesac, in my opinion, is one of the 3 greatest pitching talents to come out of the Brewers system. He's my co-host. He says Jacob Misiorowski is the most talented pitching prospect the Brewers have ever produced out of their farm system.
Wow.
Because of that, that's high praise. His pitchability is only going to go up. His man muscles are going to grow in. I can't imagine how great he's going to be. I'm all over Jacob Misiorowski.
So you don't think he'll have like a Chris Sale body for a long time?
I think he will, but I think more like Adam Wainwright. Adam Wainwright was 6'7", but his back became muscular and big. Yeah. Like lanky and tall, but strong. Yeah. Chris Sale, I mean, that's a 30 waist at the age of 36. Like that's the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
And he was a southpaw. It was weird watching, but he was good. Yeah. When he was on the Red Sox, I couldn't, look away from him.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, Jacob Misiorowski is a go.
Yes.
He's also a go for me because he's a hobbyist, and people in the hobby like to support other people in the hobby.
I love that.
And they do like cool auto inscriptions and fun stuff. All right, Greg, almost done with the rookies here. Colson Montgomery, talk to me about him.
All over Colson Montgomery. I buy his product right now. I think this kid is a superstar. I think what you're looking at is a player who could be Corey Seager at a much more sustainable level. Corey Seager's a great player. He's battled so many injuries throughout his career. A postseason hero, superstar talent. But you're looking at a 6'5" athlete who can jump out of a gym. How do I know that? He was going to go to Indiana University and be a blue chip basketball recruit. Okay, this is a star athlete, and he's a shortstop. And what he was able to do, I mean, I know everyone's obsessed with Roman Anthony. He's a great talent. But you look at the same number of games, and here you have Colson Montgomery hitting over 20 bombs. I know his batting average was under 240, but then you have Roman Anthony. Oh, we love the on base. We're fixated with players when they don't touch the ball. I want to see what happens when you touch the ball. And Colson Montgomery, when he touches the ball at a young age, boom, gone. The other reason I love Colson Montgomery, this kid was almost out of baseball. He was becoming a first-round bust, okay? Wow. He was hitting under 160 in the minor leagues. Yeah. And then this last year, they shut down his baseball season. They took him to Arizona. They had him go to their complex, and they just talked to him. He watched a video. They didn't touch a baseball. Didn't touch a bat. Didn't touch a glove. They were just walking him through, like, what are you thinking here? What are you thinking here? They cleansed the kid's brain, took the pressure of struggling away. Whatever clicked for this kid, he came back guns a-blaze and dominated. But the reason I bring this up, he's already tasted extreme adversity. And when you have a young guy who's already faced failure as many times as he's faced it, and now he's figured it out, all my chips are on that.
Never give up. That's honestly my career. I can't tell you how many auditions I've blown and got fired here or there. No, I'm just kidding.
But, no, it's good.
One thing I wanted to add about Colson Montgomery, and you compared him to Roman Anthony, I think the difference too with hype is the White Sox versus the Red Sox.
Oh yeah.
So that
the spotlight's bigger for Roman Anthony, no doubt about that.
All right, so we're going to get to my Mets. You asked if I was a Yankees fan. I'm a Mets fan.
Okay.
Jonah Tong. He's shown levels of greatness, but I don't think he's ready to be a full-blown starter yet.
I'm with you on that. And look, the herky-jerky mechanics are fun and cool, but if you follow amateur baseball, you immediately ask yourself, are they sustainable? Mm-hmm. Tim Lincecum was unreal. The Cy Youngs, he was, the face of the San Francisco Giants for a while. But they gave Matt Cain the big contract, not Tim Lincecum. Why is that? Those mechanics are so hard to replicate as you age. Mm-hmm. And so I just don't see Jonah Tong as a long-term starter. In my opinion, I think he becomes a reliever. Yeah. And could be a good one. We've seen guys do that in their career, but he's becoming a reliever, I'm probably staying away from the
Yeah,
product.
they're saying they might platoon him, like 4 innings here, 4 innings there, or whatever.
Yeah.
Speaking of my Mets, though, I have to ask about David Stearns. Lots of controversy, right? He didn't bring back Pete Alonso. The Mets, everyone loves him. Home run king at Citi Field. But he did bring in a lot of additions. What do you think they're better or worse? Like what?
So I'm a baseball fan. I love the St. Louis Cardinals. I love the St. Louis Cardinals growing up. And when Albert Pujols was a free agent, I had this conversation with Dan O'Dowd at the time, and he goes, "You really want to spend $200 million on a guy that his best baseball is in the rearview mirror? And really?" He's like, how about this, Greg? Would you trade 2 world championships and no Albert Pujols, or no world championships and you sign Albert Pujols and he wears 1 uniform his whole career? And I said, I'd rather lose with him than win without him. And if I'm a 10-year-old that's a huge Met fan, and I love the polar bear, and he has all these iconic moments, and he's the definition of consistency as a New York Met, and maybe the most underappreciated slugger we've ever seen in baseball, I am bummed out that they didn't value the fandom that he had in that fan base and his consistency. I hate when people say the best ability is availability. Well, in this case, no one's better at that than Pete Alonso. You know he's going to play every day.
And he's like Big Papi-esque, not to that extent, but he always performs under pressure.
Yes.
He hits the home runs in the Derby. He hits the home runs in the All-Star game. I was bummed. I was so bummed that they didn't even offer him a contract. I thought that was a huge slap in the face. At least he deserved that. Anyway.
They might be better. I mean, they might have a better season, but I just don't think they really truly understood how valuable his stardom was to the fan base.
Yeah, but they added some additions. We'll see. All right, couple more, I promise. Bubba Chandler, Pirates. Oh, you spoke about him earlier.
I love him. I love Bubba Chandler. It was crazy to see a guy get his first big league win coming out of the bullpen. They debuted him coming out of the bullpen like in the 4th or 5th inning. I was on TV that day, and I'm like, what are they doing? Big arm. He's going to go into that rotation that's already good with Keller and Skeens. And watch out, the Pittsburgh Pirates might have the best rotation.
He's got a good baseball name too.
Bubba Chandler.
All right, Chase Burns.
Big stuff. I mean, coming out of college, when he got drafted in the 1st round, I was like, the Cincinnati Reds, in that ballpark, you can't let anybody touch the ball. It's a launching pad, Great American Ballpark. That's why Hunter Green's the perfect ace for a team like that. Nick Lodolo, hard to touch him from the left side. This guy fits right in, man. He's herky-jerky. Sometimes he overthrows his breaking ball because it's got so much spin, and it's the elite pitch that he has that he'll leave it up in the zone, and he gets hammered for that. But the more he learns how to pitch, you're looking at a guy that could be a stopper. He's the type of pitcher. It's funny, you mentioned Chris Sale. On draft night, I was like, if Chris Sale was a righty, it'd be Chase Burns. Like, this is kind of what he is. Like, if you're looking for a starter who won game 5, but now it's game 7, you're hoping he can come out of the bullpen and do a Yamamoto. Chase Burns could be that. I'm a big Chase Burns fan.
All right, we're all in on Chase Burns. All right, last one. I'm going to end with my Mets. Noah McLean. Soto's moving over to left field. He might take over in right, correct? Like, what are the odds of him actually having a decent season?
Nolan McLean, when I watched him on the mound last year, I told Dan Plesac, I go, Nolan McLean has the most maturity for a young pitcher. Like, I almost wanted to look at his driver's license. Like, there's no way this dude's in his early 20s. He had the composure. He had the look of like a 30-year-old. He's like a Doug Drabeck, if you go back to the days of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Just had this, like, smoke a cigarette in the clubhouse, come out and throw 7 innings of scoreless ball. And his stuff was mature. It wasn't, dead brain heaving. You have so many young pitchers today that are fixated with the velo and the spin. They don't care what the outcome is. This guy had pitchability as a rookie. It was just, I was really impressed with Nolan McLean. So I think if I stumble upon Nolan McLean product, I'm putting that in a binder by itself.
Let's go. I'm very happy to hear that answer. All right, this is my last question for you. If you had to pick anyone in baseball, it doesn't have to be a rookie, who is flying under the radar that some of us might be able to pounce on?
This is a really off the radar kind of guy. I don't know why I love him. I love this kid, Luke Keeschel. He's a second baseman for the Minnesota Twins. He was a rookie last year. He didn't even play 50 games, had 4 home runs, hit over 300, OPS over 820, can steal bags. I think he stole 14 bases. He plays any position you need. I know this is a crazy comp. He's not going to hit at the level of this player, but Paul Molitor could play kind of everywhere, right? And he was just a great bat-to-ball skill guy. And I just think this is Paul Mahler mixed with the energy of a Harrison Bader.
Yeah.
That I'll run through a wall. I think Luke Keeschel, if I were stumbling upon his product, I'm going, you know what? This guy could end up being like 3-time batting champ, low-key superstar player. So I just remember I said that.
Oh, I'm jumping on it right now.
Luke
I'm going to eBay.
Keeschel.
All right, guys. How lucky am I that, my first ever podcast, my first ever episode was with Mr. Baseball. Honestly, I was a little selfish. I knew that he would just take over and do all the talking. He made it easy for me.
I'm a chatty Cathy.
This guy is just as cool in real life as he is on air. What's the name of my podcast? Playing the Field with Alex Giaimo. We're going to be all over YouTube. We're going to be on Apple Podcasts. So please stay tuned. It's going to get a little naughty at times.
I can't wait.
Sports, collectibles, memorabilia, maybe a dating story disaster here and there. I have plenty of those. Lots of drama. Greg, thank you.
Alex,
you're the best.
awesome.
I'm giving you a hug.
Oh, please do. I would stand up, but I'm so tall and gangly.
Oh,
it's
you're
better
so
this
tall.
way.
Also, so much better dressed than me. Way to put me to shame. Bye, guys.